change? The word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Christina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Christina Bloom.
Hey everybody, welcome to Be the Change Radio on WLTK-DB.com, Paranormal Talk Radio. I am your host, Christina Bloom. Thank you for joining me. Excuse me. If you are watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. That should be easier to say, subscribe button. And ring the bell to get notifications for this and other great programs on the WLTK-DB channel on YouTube. To check out upcoming Be the Change guests, you can go to my meetup page. That's meetup.com/onespiriconnection/events/calendar. There it is on the screen. You can look it right at that. And my guests are all listed there for which Monday night that they're going to be on. Next Monday, there will be a rerun. I'm not sure which show it's going to be, but I will be on vacation with my husband in the Adirondack Mountains. So that will be fun, but I will not be doing a show next week. The following week, we will have Margaret Stoiber, author of CPR for the Grieving Heart. Sorry, I had to look at the book. CPR for the Grieving Heart. And it's an amazing healing book. You'll want to check out that show on Valentine's Day. For the next couple of weeks, I will be doing readings only over the phone. So psychic readings, intuitive readings, mediumship readings, even tarot readings and past life readings. I will be doing all of those over the phone. Starting on February 3rd and going through the 16th, I will be doing those only on the phone, not on Zoom. So you can email me or private message me on Facebook and to make your appointment for a private phone reading. Let's see what else. Oh, one more thing. February 24th, I will be teaching an Akashic Records class. I will teach you how to go into your own Akashic Records and read them to find out, whatever it is that you wanted to know about why you're here in this lifetime, what you wanted to learn, find out which purposes you've already accomplished so that you can stop repeating patterns. It's a really helpful tool to be able to do that. I'll be teaching a class on that on Zoom on February 24th at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So that is, again, in my meetup page, my meetup calendar, and the registration information is in that link there. All right. Tonight we are going to be talking about healing and community involvement and how to get involved in your community to help make positive changes in your community. We have Becky Jo, the Wholeistic Healer, who is a published author. She published this book, Calling of My Soul. Let's see. The Calling of My Soul, True Confessions of a Blu-ray Empath, HSP. And she is a fascinating woman. She has been through so much and comes out positive on the other side with all of the struggles. And she's just an amazing inspiration to me. We've been friends for a while now, and she's just an amazing person. She just opened up Holistic Healing and, she's going to have to correct me on this, but Angel Education Center, I believe it's called, in Poynette, Wisconsin. Beautiful location. I've been there a couple of times for some events, and it's just a beautiful location in a small town in Wisconsin, but it is so worth going there for it. She's just an amazing healer in herself. She makes all these awesome things. Like I wanted to say concoctions. That's not the right word, but she makes like healing tinctures and an elderberry blueberry syrup that is healing and delicious. Its stuff is wonderful. Again, tinctures, lotions, cleansers, um, all kinds of health related skincare things. She can tell you a lot about that when she comes on, but there's just so many cool things that she does. And her mission statement, I just want to read this to you. Becky Jo, the Wholeistic Healer, is a published author who shares the art of natural healing on a mission to bring the entire world into peace, love, and unity. Holistic healing is founded on the principles of aligning mind, body, and soul. And she has got so much to share. I'm not going to wait until commercial break to bring her up. So let's welcome Becky Jo to the show. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, Christina. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. I love the hat.
Thank you. Gotta represent.
Yep, there you go.
And it's winter in Wisconsin, so I'm always cold.
Are you? I'm the opposite. I run hot. Maybe we should try to balance that out between us.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Where do you want to start? You have so much going on.
I don't know. Where would you like me to start?
Let's start with your new center. How'd that come about?
So the new center came about because unfortunately, during the last 2 years, the pandemic has kind of forced all of us to make a lot of changes that maybe we were not really wanting to make, or maybe didn't have the courage to make. But the universe always leads us in the correct direction, always in the perfect divine timing, as you and I both know.
Yes.
And so, this July, I got to the point where, how when the universe wants you to move and your human is like, but I'm comfortable here. Well, yes. Then it starts to become so uncomfortable that you're like, okay, fine. So the universe moved me forcefully, as it has many times. And, you're pouty and mad about it at first and sad and whatever. And then I had to leave the location I was at. And I was really upset because I'm like, I'm established here. Like, everybody knows me here. Like, I can't leave this place that I've created. But once I left there, and then I spent a month just going, you know what? My business has been through so much since the pandemic. I don't know if I'm going to keep going forward with it, but I know that God will show me, right? So I spent a month just kind of with my whole empire in my basement. And thank God I have a very, very understanding husband, and he was very supportive of that. And so in the beginning of August, the place in Poynette kind of dropped on my lap easily and freely without any restrictions, or, it was like the perfect place, the perfect timing, the perfect everything. When I walked in, I knew that was where I was meant to be. It was one of those where I could feel it in my body. The minute I stepped in that building, I was like, okay, this is why I was forced out of the building I was at. Okay, thank God, because it's so much nicer. And
it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Isn't it like a former country club or something?
Yes, it was a country club. Yes. And they, they reverted it into different suites. And, we are definitely, I've already outgrown what I have there, but it's okay because there's another suite that's for rent. And now I'm really excited because since I moved in there, I've been trying to manifest yoga there. Well, the universe once again lined me up perfectly with somebody who reached out on Friday. And so we have a meeting tomorrow. I have 2 ladies that want to come in, and we're probably going to rent that bigger suite. And we're going to do more activities, more events, and we're going to get yoga going. So it's just, we're just getting started.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's so peaceful. I mean, it's like, there's nothing pretentious about it. When you say it was a country club, you're like, ooh, country club.
Yeah.
But it is so peaceful and comfortable walking into that space.
Yeah,
You've done
definitely.
such a good job of shifting that energy.
Thank you. And that's a nice part too, is I'm the only one in there, so I can control it. And the last location I was at, I could only control so much with having a business partner who wasn't on the same page.
Yeah.
And so, our energy's working, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It just, we are meant to do things in a certain way in a certain time. And when it's time to part ways, no harm, no foul. It's time to part ways. So,
Yeah.
it became very hard for me to keep the energy how I like to keep it at the old place. This place is great because when I walked in, I'm like, I am going to create a heaven on earth, like literally want to create a heaven on earth. So people can walk in through those doors and just feel that heavenly vibe, like just leave the rest of the world, wherever you want to leave it when you walk in that door, just for a little bit. And I didn't tell anybody that I did that, but it didn't take long before people were like, it feels so heavenly in here. And I'm like, oh, you don't say.
Well,
So,
mission accomplished.
yeah, yep, exactly. Oh, it feels like there's angels in here. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because there is.
Absolutely. You definitely
We
feel that
invite them.
angelic presence.
Yes, we
Yeah.
invite the angels, and I commune with them daily. So they're everywhere I go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So tell us about your healing. It's not like a typical, it's not like Reiki, it's not necessarily quantum healing. What is this? What is it that you do?
So I basically kind of have created my own modality. I haven't named it yet. I do think that there will be a time soon where I will name it and start actually teaching my own way, which, as we both know, it's not really my way. It's a way that the divine has asked me to heal.
Mhm.
So when I first started out, I was doing Reiki, and I do think that that's kind of and I think you would agree with me, Christina, that's just a platform of us learning how to move energy,
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just not deep enough. And now, like in the older paradigm of, and I'm sure you would agree with me, 10, 15 years ago, that was perfect for energy healing at that time.
Yes.
Now we have moved into the new paradigm. We're moving into the new, and the energy on the planet is very different, and Reiki is just not enough anymore.
Yeah.
So when I started kind of feeling that, probably about 2017, I kind of just, I don't know if you remember, but there's that big eclipse that we had, and it was the first eclipse where everybody could actually see it all over the world. And that day I went outside in my front yard, and I decided I was going to meditate during the eclipse. And as I laid there, literally felt something shift in my body. And I don't know if it was my gifts, I don't know what it was, but I felt myself crack open. So the next day after that, I had a Reiki client that came in, and I was not the same person. My hands were doing things that I had never been trained to do, and I didn't understand at first, but I just rolled with it. And the next thing I know, within like the next 2 months, I was doing all these probably very ancient, sacred things that like my soul knew to do, but my humans still didn't understand. So it's taken me from 2017 till probably about a year ago to really get good at what I do. All I can say is like it depends on the person that I'm working on, what their needs are. But basically, I'm channeling whatever it is your spirit is asking me that your human needs, if that makes sense.
It makes absolute sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's different for everybody. So no two people will ever get the same kind of healing from me. Some people I will be guided to sing to them even. And it just comes, like I am working on them, and then I just hear this beautiful angelic voice in my head tell me that they need the sound of my voice, so I will sing for their healing. That's, one part. I mean, other people need, my hands in certain places. It's just I never know you never know. And I think that's what people really like about getting on my table is like, it's so magical, and every time it's different.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not planned. It's not, I don't like it planned. I just want to allow the spirit to come through and authentically heal people. I don't want to try to fake it or make it a certain way, or, I think we spend too much of our lives doing that as humans,
Yeah. We spend a lot of time trying to control forces we really don't fully understand.
Yes, ma'am. We do. And
We
and
do.
then those of us that are, very, very gifted and connected to the universe, I
Mhm.
think we're always shown like a day or two later, like, oh my God, why was I forcing that? I know better than that.
Yes.
Why didn't I just
Yes.
listen? Why didn't I just listen? I don't know why we do it. Like,
Exactly.
we know better.
But we
But
still do it because we're human and we still want to feel like
yeah.
we're in control.
I
Yeah.
think it is. I think it is.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, I'll just force this a little bit and then it'll work. No, it doesn't.
Right.
No.
Well, whether we're doing energy healing or readings, we're not in control.
No, we're not. Definitely. And the thing is
so
the very best, and I know you'll agree, the very best healings or readings I've ever done is when I just surrender and go, okay, I don't know anything, but I'm just going to allow whatever's meant to be. And those are the most beautiful, profound healings and readings ever.
I agree. 100%. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I have said during the course of a reading, I don't know what I'm talking about, but they're telling me you know what I'm talking about. And every
Yep,
single time they know.
they do. And we don't need
Yeah.
to know. It's not our
No.
job to know.
No, there's some information I don't need to have in order to help people.
Right, exactly.
I just don't need it. And
Yeah.
and I don't remember it anyway because it wasn't my information to begin with. So
Right. And
Yeah.
then people come and, oh, I saw you in Chicago 2 years ago and you told me this. And I'm like, I am so sorry, but that's not really me telling you that. So I don't remember. I just
Exactly.
don't.
I don't
don't
remember.
retain that.
Unless it's something that affects me somehow, like hits me personally, or I can relate to it on a personal level, or it's something that is so bizarre, it's never been said before.
Yes.
I don't remember. I just
Yeah.
don't remember. And I know it's the same for you because spirit just moves through you. It's not,
Yes.
and it's the same with me when I'm doing healings. It just moves through me. I'm not in control of my hands either. They just go
Yeah.
where they're supposed to go.
Yes, exactly. We just
All right.
allow it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have used a bunch of your products, and I remember the first time I met you, oddly enough, even though we're both in Wisconsin, it was in Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, but I was having trouble breathing, and you mixed up a roller for me specifically to help me breathe, and it was unbelievably helpful. And
Oh,
I think I just actually ran out of it recently.
wow.
Yeah, because I used it so sparingly because I knew it was something beautiful and precious, and I didn't want to waste it. But
Yeah.
yeah, wow, that was a long time ago. I was like
Yes.
8 years, maybe 10. I'm not sure.
I would guess probably closer to 10 because my daughter was with me then and she wasn't even out of high school at that
Yeah.
time. And she's going to be 30. So
Oh,
it
it's
might
been
have
a
even
long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize it'd been that long.
No, me neither, but yeah, I think
Anyway.
that's a long time ago.
Wow. Well, we are going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I want you to tell us about your products and how you came about all that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Production. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before being published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Productions has everything you are looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. Moonbow Publications and Productions, a new kind of publishing company.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We are at just about 22 minutes past the hour. We are here with Becky Jo, the Wholeistic Healer. If you had been with us in the last 20 minutes, you've heard about her new center and the healing that she does. And she does healing not just one-on-one in a healing room, but she also does it through these amazing products that she creates. And I want to hear about how that started. How did you start doing that? Were you like the little kid playing with all the stuff and mixing potions? And
Yes, actually I was.
awesome.
Yes. When I was a little kid, it's so funny looking back at who we were as children and who we are now.
Right.
I was always mixing everything. Like in the springtime, I looked forward to when the snow would melt and there'd be puddles and then there'd be leaves and mud. And then I would even mix like those Smarties candies. I would crush those. And like I knew how to mix and blend. It was the craziest thing. So it's just in my blood. But when I first started doing that, I had come to, and this is, kind of part of what's in my book too, is I got to a point in my life where I'd been through a lot, and I've been through a lot of traumas, a lot of very horrific things that a human being could endure. And so I got to my early 30s and I was very sick with a lot of different ailments. Now that I'm a holistic practitioner, I understand it was, mostly trauma based, but, fibromyalgia, really, really bad. And which, I still have to walk the line with today and take good care of myself to keep that under control. But, I had gone to the doctor and I have a degenerative spinal disease, which is hereditary in my family. And they basically condemned me to a wheelchair and narcotics. And I just decided that wasn't going to be my life. No matter what I had to do, that would not be my life. So I started learning how to make myself home remedies in hopes. I didn't know if it was going to work or not. I just hoped that it would work. I was desperate for something, anything. And so I learned how to make just these few little remedies. And I was always a gardener and I always grew herbs, but I never really did anything with them, which is weird, So then I just started thinking like, I have all these herbs in my yard and stuff. And like, I grow them, wonder what I can do with them, So then I just started learning and I started, holistically treating myself and, prescribing for myself. And it started working. I changed my diet. I started to meditate. I started to really just take very good care of my mind, body, and soul. And I could not believe the turnaround that happened. So that really inspired me to want to help other people because I knew that as crippled up and handicapped as I was at one point in time in my life where I had to have my mom help me get dressed sometimes. I had to have help bathing sometimes. And sometimes I would spend 2 or 3 days in bed. And I knew that wasn't me. That's not my spirit. That's not who I am. So I knew that if this stuff could work for me, it could work for anybody. So I went back to school to learn herbal medicine and aromatherapy. So I have a master's degree in both now. And I'm nationally registered and certified as a master herbalist. I'm also nationally registered and certified as an master aromatherapist. So I am actually educated and know how to mix and blend plant medicine in a clinical and healthy, safe way. So now I'm free to create all these things. And I just love to create from my garden to people's homes, you know, to help their children and their parents and themselves, you know, keep your skin healthy, keep your you know, your insides healthy. It's such a soul calling for me. And people say, I don't know how you are running this wellness center and you see patients all day, but you still have this whole shop full of all this stuff that you made by hand. How do you do all of that? And I honestly don't know. I tell people my spirit does it. Like when I sit and think about it, I don't know. I just do it. It's just what I'm meant to do.
And you do it very well.
Thank you.
Very well. I like I said, I use some of your products and it's just amazing how well they work and how comforting they are. It's everything smells good, everything feels good. It's just amazing stuff. Can you hear that knocking?
Yeah, what is that?
That's my grandson trying to get into my studio.
Uh-oh.
He's knocking on the door trying to get in.
He wants to get in.
Yeah, he wants to come in.
Oh.
He doesn't want Grandma to work right now, but it's okay. Grandma has to work right now.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the book, The Calling of My Soul.
So my first book, The Calling of My Soul, and I actually have a copy with me too tonight because I wasn't sure if you had a copy on you.
Yeah.
This is my pride and joy for right now until the second book comes out, which is coming out this year. But this is my true life story. I did not leave anything out. I spilled all of my guts, all of my highs, my lows, mistakes I made. You know, I'm owning everything because we cannot heal and we cannot be an authentic healer if we are not willing to crack ourselves open and understand who we are and why we tick the way we do. And so I know that growing up, and this is the same for you, Christina, growing up very, very gifted and in a world that doesn't accept such things, it became a very lonely place to be for a lot of years of my life. And I was humiliated and embarrassed about who I was. I tried to push it away. I tried to tell God I didn't want to be like that many times. And I didn't understand why God was punishing me because it felt like I was being punished when I was younger. And I'm sure you had times too where, you know, I literally wondered what was wrong with me and why God hated me. And, you know, growing up in the times that we did and, you know, growing up in a very Catholic, and I know you and I have talked about this before, where nobody believed you. And if they did, if you did speak of what you were experiencing, people either said you were imagining it or that, you know, that's crazy talk and that's not possible. You can't be seeing angels, Becky Jo. That's not possible. That's impossible. So I remember when I decided to write my book thinking there are other people out there that do not have support. They need to know they're not crazy. They need to know they're not alone. And they need to know that there's nothing wrong with them. There's something very right with them. If I can help even one human being understand who they are and that they're very needed and very important in this life, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be the brave one that's going to put my stuff out there. And so you can you can read my story, and most people say it's such an easy read. I read it in a day because I literally poured my emotion, and I also poured like a healing transmission into the book, and intentionally, so that when people read it, some of the stories and scenarios people can relate with, and it brings their stuff up, and then they feel a little triggered, but it helps them heal and resolve within themselves. Like, oh my God, that happened to me too. Now I understand why. Really, really important for people who are empathic to be able to understand that, we are all having these experiences. It's just not, in the same way, but there are those of us out there like me and like you that we want to be the change. We want to, turn that light switch on for other people so that they don't have to sit in the dark as long as we did.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about empathy, because you said, those of us who are empaths and that you're not alone. And I hear a lot and I read a lot about how empathy is so difficult and how it can be really, really hard to be an empath and to feel all this stuff all the time.
It is. It's
I like to
incredibly hard.
shift that, though. I like to shift that and go, empathy is my superpower.
It is. It's a double-edged sword, though.
It can be. It can be. I teach people how to use it as a tool, because that's actually what it's meant to be.
It is meant to be a tool, but until people learn that and understand how to control it, now that I know how to control it, does it still creep up and become hard sometimes? Yes. Not nearly as often as when I had no power or control over it, and I sat in anxiety and panic attacks every day because I didn't understand that it was other people's stuff I was feeling. And I'm sure you've been there too.
Oh yeah.
Once you understand, and once you understand that it's not your stuff you're feeling, then you can learn how to decipher, what is this mine or is this something, once you realize, and then you can recognize, okay, what does my energy feel like? Okay, this is who I am. And you teach this stuff, then it becomes a beautiful gift, like a very amazing superpower.
I agree. I like to give people hope that empathy is a superpower. I know you're not there yet. You're not there yet, and that's okay. But here are some tools that you can use. And I outline those in my book. Like, here's tools you can use to find out, boom, what does my energy feel like? This is mine. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And your book is incredible for that, because I remember years ago, before your book was a book, it was a guiding light through the class that you taught. And I took your class, and I think I still have that somewhere.
You probably do. All the handouts?
I bet I still have the handout, because I always kept it because it had incredible tools in it. And I referred back to it a lot when I was learning and growing and understanding who I was.
Thank you.
It was a guiding light for me as well.
Yeah, thank you. You have your picture and your sound aren't synced, so I'm watching your lips keep moving after I'm done hearing your voice.
I think because my internet's very slow at my house.
Oh, could be, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully you can hear me okay.
Oh, I can hear you. It's just like watching the old Kung Fu theater, where there's that like 2-second delay.
Yep.
It's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah. Well, I got to make things fun for everybody. I got to make things weird and different,
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be me.
I think that's why we're friends.
Yeah. Yeah, we both like the weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have a question. Okay, out of all the products you make, if you had to pick a favorite, what would it be?
That's a tough question. I would say probably my angel sprays.
Okay.
The angel sprays that I make, and I make archangel sprays, and they are literally channeled. So they're made with holy water and with some beautiful oils and plant extracts from my garden, very high vibrational. But when I make them, and each bottle is made by hand, and when I make them, each bottle is, I channel that angel's energy into it. So When you're spraying that angel comes to you and you can feel it. And they're very, very, very miraculous. And I mean, I ship them all over the United States and people absolutely love them. I have them in my own home. I use them, you can use it as like, hey, I'm feeling a little bad energy in here, spray it in the room, or you can spray it on your bedding, or, spray it around your person for protection, or, if you just need a little pick me up,
Yeah.
it's not everybody. I forget that not everybody knows or has the ability to call the angels in like I do. I mean, everybody has that ability. It's just that most people haven't learned that skill or believe that they are capable of that.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to share that with other people because it's incredible. You know what the feeling is.
I do. And I think that probably one of the saddest things that I've encountered is that people, for the same reason that they told you were crazy, you can't talk to the angels, it's because there's like this lack of worthiness that the
Yes.
angels will actually talk to us. And they do all the time.
Yes. And that is sad.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times because I teach angel classes because everybody needs to know. We need to get this out there. They need to understand it's not bad. But most of my students in my angel classes will, when I say, how many of you feel like you are worthy of an angel visiting you? And most, maybe one or two will raise their hand. And the rest will say, like, I don't think I'm worthy. And that's got to change. That has to change. That doctrine needs to change. That's old paradigm. We're not in that anymore. We're moving forward. That's not true.
Right. That is definitely past paradigm stuff. It is not, especially, well, why would the archangels talk to me? Why wouldn't they talk to you?
Well, exactly. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't
they? That's their job. Their purpose is to lead and guide and inspire human beings. So
right.
Any human being, whether you're good, bad, whatever you are, whether you know it or not, you already have angels all around you. Whether you believe in it or not, they're all around you. They're there. They're talking to you. It's just that most people don't recognize.
Right.
Or believe it.
And there are some people that I have talked to who are like, well, I'll talk to my spirit guides, but I'm not going to talk to angels because I'm not religious.
Yes, I hear that too. They don't understand. It's not a religious thing.
It's not a religious thing.
No.
Angels are their own species.
Yes. They have their own kingdom.
Yes, absolutely.
They are, and that's the thing is God didn't make them religious. Humans did. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, people think that about Jesus and Mary too. Like I have, statues of Mother Mary and Jesus and angels all over my home. And people are like, oh, you must be really religious. No, I'm not actually. Do I have a part of me that, is trained as a Catholic? Yeah, there's a part of me that follows that, but I also follow everything else.
Right.
I'm not limited to that. I believe in all of it. It's not just one way. There's many ways to the light, and they are all important. They all matter. And angels are in all of them in some way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry. I was watching your
That's okay.
Again, the syncing. I was watching your lips are still moving, but the voice was already done. It's like I said, it's kind of fun.
I don't know if the internet's slow or because my energy messes with electronics too. So
well, yeah, and we're like in the third week of Mercury retrograde too. So there's that.
That'll do it too. That'll do it.
Let's take another commercial break, and we will come back and continue our discussion with Becky Jo, the Wholeistic Healer.
Meet Nicole Strickland, one of the leading San Diego paranormal researchers. Nicole offers a gentle and humble approach to working with spirit energies. Being the founder of the San Diego Paranormal Research Society, Nicole is no stranger to the unknown. Due to Nicole's vast knowledge of the paranormal, she is widely sought after for speaking engagements on topics like Children of the Paranormal, Paranormal Investigation 101 and 102, History of Spiritualism, and more. Not only does Nicole research the afterlife, but also writes about it, and is the author of several books pertaining to the paranormal and its history. She has appeared on television shows like My Ghost Story, Travel Channel's Famously Afraid, Good Morning San Diego, and more. Have a conference or event coming up? Contact Nicole on her website, authornicolestrickland.com. That's authornicolestrickland.com.
Hey everyone, it is just about 42 minutes past the hour. I am here with Becky Jo, the Wholeistic Healer, and we have just been having a fun chat about everything from starting out with sticks and leaves potions all the way up to angel sprays and angel tinctures and all kinds of fun stuff. What is it that you want most people to know? Oh, I know, you know what, we had talked about this before. I'm going to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
You are very involved in your local community.
Yes, I am.
Could you talk to us about that? Because I think that a lot of people see a split between like the general community and the metaphysical community. So you are involved in both.
Yes.
So tell us how we can do that to help make our world better and be the change.
Sure. So, it starts with, maybe reaching out to your public library. And a lot of times the public libraries have, opportunities, for, volunteering your time to help kids, or read books or, whatever it is like that. Things that are in the community. Some little small town communities will have little committees where you can volunteer to maybe water the plants on the streets and, stuff like that. And that's how I got started in my community of Poynette all those years ago. I was a gardener and they had a garden club and they asked me to grow some flowers for them. And I grew flowers. We had a new veterans memorial that was being, built in town. And I was known as the girl with the greenhouse that grew amazing flowers back then. That was before I was a healer. And that's how you get involved, is like getting involved in that type of stuff, because that opens the door to different connections. So starting there, and then getting to know people, getting to, them to trust you and to know who you are as a person and as an individual, then, kind of led me to, being asked to be a chaplain for the police, and be on committees and, be a active part of the chamber and help plan events in town and that type of stuff. So it leads you to people understanding that you are not crazy. They know who you are as a person, and it builds your integrity.
Yeah.
And once people realize that who you are as a person, then it just expands from there. And it's really getting out there. And for me, my spiritual awakening happened from Christ standing there in front of me and me hearing his voice tell me that I was a healer. And from that day forward, I made a pact with myself that I would try to live as Jesus did, and I would try to help people as he did. So I make it my life's commitment to help anybody in my community that I can. So you've got to pay. I'm constantly paying it forward. One really simple way that you can pay it forward in your community and you'll kind of feel the vibe, is like when you go to your local Quick Trip or, you know, a gas station, buy a coffee in the morning. And I started doing this years ago and I still do it. You know, your coffee's what, like $1.30 or whatever it is. Give them $2 and then tell them, save the change for somebody who needs it. Do that every time you go into, you know, a gas station. You don't need that 60 cents. You really don't. God wants us to always share our extra. So instead of having that 65 cents change laying in your purse where you're not going to do anything with it, save it for somebody else, because you never know who's going to come to that gas station after you and maybe they're short on change. Right. That is a way to help in your community to get started. It's just doing these little tiny things at first. And it, you know, people know me for that. People in the area know that when Becky Jo comes, I don't want my change. I want someone else to benefit from that. Those are the things that you do to show and pay it forward. I also will pick usually three GoFundMe's a year in my community. If I do, whether I know the people or not, I will choose ones that the Spirit leads me to, and I will donate a large, you know, amount, whatever I can, you know, to that, but an amount that's above and beyond. Because I'm at the point where I can do that. And that's the reason why we have abundance. We're meant to share that and keep that going in our communities. That is how we be the change, is always paying it forward, but also allowing yourself to receive too, not just doing the empathic over giving. I have to give to please, to try to, you know, have people like me. We don't want to do that.
Right.
It needs to be in a healthy, loving, heart-centered way. Letting Spirit lead you to what you should volunteer for and what you should step back from, if that makes sense.
It makes absolute sense to me. And really, that's about sitting with yourself and getting to know yourself so that you can connect with those higher sources.
Yes, exactly. And then just letting Spirit lead you to the perfect place, the perfect people. And as soon as you start opening those little doors like that, and just make the intention and make the promise to yourself and to the universe, creator, God, whatever you call it, that, right, you know, starting from today, moving forward, I'm going to live my life, you know, paying it forward. I you know, show me. And every morning when I leave my home, I get in my vehicle and I say a little prayer. I say, okay, God, where will you have me go today? What will you have me do? What would you like me to say? Show me. And then when I leave my home, when certain situations arise, I know that I'm being shown where I can best serve. That's an easy way. Just ask the universe to show you how you can serve. You will be shown, but then you have to answer the call when it comes in too. You can't just, you know, say you're going to do it and not do it. You have to actually commit to it. And
right.
And then everything just opens up and you're just living in this beautiful energy after that.
Right. So if God calls you to pick up litter, go pick up litter.
You pick up that litter. You bet.
That's right.
I don't care if it's cold out. You get your butt out of the car. And the other thing too is, you know, there's times where I've been called to pull over on the side of the road and help an animal. You know, I mean, it's all different stuff. We're all being led to these things. It's just a matter of whether you will have the integrity to get out and help somebody else, a human being, another creature, the earth herself. You know, right. The opportunities are there always.
Or even to open yourself up enough to hear the message. This is what I want you to do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That is part of our soul work too, is allowing ourselves to open up to hear it. It's not easy to do at first, but once you get there, it's easy to keep that channel open.
Yes, it really is. It really is. And, you know, it's so important that we understand that our spirituality is not separate from our lives.
Agreed.
You know, I think that for a long time, Yeah. But I think for a long time, we've had that idea, at least I have, and most of the people I know have. And I think that comes from you go to church on Sunday or you go to temple on Saturday or whatever the case might be. But then you don't do anything the rest of the week except go to work, go to school, whatever it is. And we, with this new place that we're in, this ascension that we've been going through, it's really about bringing those two things together and making sure that we are living our spirituality, as you said, in integrity.
Absolutely. And
It's such a difference.
it is. That's all old paradigm. We're so into the new paradigm where spirituality and your humanness are coming together in our hearts, and that sacred heart. And that's what Jesus tried to teach when he was here. Like, we are bringing the human and the spirit, together through us, leading humanity to a better way.
Absolutely.
And every one of us counts. And people think, well, I'm just one person, I can't. No, everything you do counts. Everything you do helps. It heals. Don't think it doesn't.
Right.
It matters.
It really does. It really does. Becky Jo, I have loved having you on my show. Now, you told me you're starting your own show again, a different kind. What's that all about?
Well, I left the radio studio that I was working for because I want to be able to do and say the things that I want to do and say on my radio show. And I felt my spirit felt very caved in at the current studio that I was at. Not that they didn't do anything wrong or anything like that. It's just I feel it's time for me to create my own radio show, not in somebody else's studio, not with FCC rules,
Right.
and regulations. So I'm going to be starting my own, probably not till March though, because I have a lot of irons in the fire right now. So it'll still be Whole Healing with Becky Jo radio show, just a different platform. If everyone wants to hang in there and hold on, I promise I'll be back. And for right now, I'm doing some podcasting with a friend of mine that does paranormal investigating, and I'm not so much into the paranormal investigating. That's not who I am. But it's funny because he is, and we kind of balance each other out, and we have kind of this synergy between us, and people are really enjoying, watching us. We do that live on my Facebook page, Becky Jo the Healer, on Tuesday nights around 5:30. So for right now, that's kind of the radio show type of stuff I'm doing, but there's more coming this year.
Okay. All right. And would you like to take us out this evening with a guided meditation?
I would love to.
Awesome. It's all yours.
Okay. So if we are going to heal our minds, our bodies, and souls, and this will be perfect. So I want you to, everyone, just kind of close your eyes, connect with your heart. And if you don't know how to connect with your heart, I want you to place your hand over your heart and feel your heart beating. And then kind of feel that electricity. And as you feel that electricity, I want you to feel how that kind of runs and flows through your whole body. And your heart is your sacred vessel. That is where spirit speaks to you the most. That's where your love comes in. So that love that's in your heart is going to heal your whole body. So we're going to heal our whole bodies. So I want you to take your attention now to the top of your head. And then I want you to see, sense, feel, imagine, envision, whatever works best for you, that there's a very teeny tiny little golden dot in front of your eyes. And that teeny tiny golden dot moves closer and closer and closer. And as it gets closer, it becomes bigger And it ends up as a beautiful column of golden light. And it comes down about 500 feet above your head. Look up, connect to the light, and allow the light to come down into the crown of your head. And as this light comes down into the crown of your head, I want you to feel all of the cells in your brain light up. And this is like a gooey, honey-like consistency golden light that's coming in. So this is going to come in like a magnet. It's going to reduce free radicals. It's going to restore, regenerate. So I want you to feel it just kind of that honey consistency, kind of like Pepto-Bismol coats the stomach. This is going to coat your brain and let it fill your pineal gland, moving down into your third eye, your throat, and down into your heart, your solar plexus, swirling down into your sacral, swirling down into your root. And as it reaches your root chakra, I want you to feel that fiery red glow of your root chakra, okay? Your root chakra is going to welcome this heavenly light into the center that connects you to the earth. So we're going to take all of that golden light and we're going to hold it in the root chakra. And while that's sitting there, I want you to see, sense, imagine, envision, whatever works best for you, that there's a silver dot. And this silver dot comes closer and closer and closer. And as it comes closer, it's getting bigger. And this becomes a silver column of light around your feet. So I want you to feel that silver light come up to the bottom of your feet. And this is like a very gooey honey consistency too. So let's bring it up from your toes to your ankles. Really pull that up from your ankles to your knees, pulling that silver light from your knees to your hips. And it meets the golden light in your root chakra. So now you are fully reconnected from above and below. I want you to feel that. That silver light comes from the crystalline grid of earth, of Mother Gaia. And the golden light comes from the Christ light, the love from the universe. And both of them are very sacred. They're very healing. They're very uplifting. So now we're going to take all of the silver and gold light and kind of like a DNA, kind of like a Twizzlers, okay? They're going to twist together and we're going to move them back up your chakras. So we're going to go up into the sacral, solar plexus, and then in the heart. We're going to let the heart really take in the silver and gold, the heaven and earth in your heart. And then we're going to move up to your throat, your third eye, and to the top of your head to your crown. Now I want everybody to take a nice deep breath. And as you do, you're breathing earth from the bottom of your feet and heaven from the top of your head, and they're going to meet in your heart. So you're going to take a deep breath in, pull that silver up, pull that golden down, and it meets in your heart, and feel it just kind of swirling in your heart, just releasing everything that no longer serves, clearing, cleansing, realigning, reestablishing. All of the cells in your body light up, every cell, every meridian, every nadi, every chakra, every energy center, all of your organs, your glands, your heart, your stomach, your kidneys, your bladder, all light up Any negative energy or negative entities or anyone else's energy that was pulling from you or attached to you is releasing now. And I want you to feel yourself in your own beautiful golden and silver bubble of light, fully renewed, fully restored, fully realigned, fully healed. And then before we come back, I want you to open yourself and allow your angels to wrap their wings around you. I want you to allow the presence. Don't be afraid. Feel that beautiful wings just kind of wrap you up and envelope you in love and light and peace. Feel your vibration raise. Give gratitude. And when you're ready, you can come back and kind of open your eyes and wiggle your toes and your fingers. You're completely replugged in from above and below.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, Becky Jo.
You're
I've
welcome.
so loved having you on the show.
I love
And
being here.
this has been fun. And we're probably going to have to do it again sometime.
Yes, we are. Definitely.
Excellent. Blessings to you. Happy February coming up soon.
Yes. Yes. Happy February in a few hours.
Yeah. Thank you. And everyone, thank you so much. I will see you back here on the 14th.
Have a wonderful night. God bless everyone.